What's going on, guys? It's Quan the Alchemist here, and I wanted to share you guys a cool little adventure today. But before that, I think the main thing that I wanted to bring to you or bring to your attention is this one tip, this one piece of advice that will, if you apply it, it will take you a very, very long distance for 2022. But before I tell you that, before I tell you what this one piece of advice is, let me tell you a little bit about the venture that we went through today, and let me take you guys along, all right? So today, the friends and I, we all decided to go on a little quick tour. Want to go see a waterfall, go out to the beach and do some fun things. So yeah, we booked a fun little trip. We were on a nice cool little bus ride and whatnot, met up with the tour guide, and on that ride, once we got with the tour guide, we started going through a mini little hike, right? And this hike, not too long, it's about half an hour or so. I was very curious about what the waterfall will look like, and I'll show you guys what it did in a second. But as we're going through it, I remember just thinking to myself, wow, what a beautiful world that we live in. And it brings me back to an awesome quote, is that the world is like a book, and for those who don't travel, only read a single page. And I've been living out here in Mexico for the past couple of months now, and as much as I do a lot of work, work remotely, digital nomad, whatever you guys want to call it, I realize there's still so much to see in life, and we should never get too lost and just work and forget to smell the roses, as they like to call it. But anyways, went through, we got to the waterfall. And if you guys know anything about me, or you've been watching me for a long time, even before this YouTube channel, if you follow me from Instagram, you know that I really like to send it. And when I say send it, it's jumping off cliffs and having fun and whatnot. So we decided we got there, we jumped off this 10-meter cliff. I think in feet that's about 40 feet or so. But we got on top, and it was me, all the boys. I remember in the beginning it was a little bit scary, but let me bring it back to the lesson and advice that I was going to give to you guys right now. And honestly, it all comes down to, if you want this year to be amazing for yourself, the first thing that I want you to do, and that first and last piece of advice that I'll give to you, is take more risks. I'm not saying risk that involves, you losing your life or anything like that, but I'm just saying take more risk. And the reason why I tell you that is because without any risk in life, there is no reward. That's why you see a lot of people who stay extremely comfortable and they never get anywhere, simply because they didn't learn how to take that jump for themselves. They didn't learn how to break their old selves to become their new selves. And what I encourage for you to do this year is that ask yourself, how did 2021 look for me? Or how did last year look for me? And ask yourself, where could I have done better? And most likely what you will see is that where you could have done better were all the things that you didn't try, all the things that you didn't do. And I work with a lot of clients, I work with a lot of people, and one of the biggest things I see all the time is people regret, at the age of whether 70, 80, whatever it may be, is they regret the things that they didn't do. Now, I'm not asking you to jump off some cliffs, but what I'm asking you to do is just simply learn how to get a little bit comfortable outside of your comfort zone. But I'll get back to that in a second. Let's bring it back to the clips of the jumping here off the cliff. So we got to the top of the cliff. I remember I was going up the cliff. I was like, man, this is a little higher than I thought. And it's been a while since I did some cliff jumping because, COVID and all that stuff, you can't really go out anymore. So felt like I was breaking the ice for the first time again. But we got to the top. Our tour guide jumped off, and I was like, oh, damn. And everyone's behind me, right? So I'm like, damn, okay, I got to set an example. I got to jump, because if I chicken out, it's going to not look good at all. So I was like, okay, you know what? Just got to do it. And it's one of those things where you learn life is like, if you think about it too much, you're never going to end up doing it. So what I did here was I got down, I counted from 3. I said 3, 2, 1, and jumped right on top of it. And it's completely okay, right? I remember I was like, okay, I know if the more I look at it or analyze, it's not going to be so great. But anyways, I count 3, 2, 1, jump. Right, I jumped in, and I was like, wow, so much easier than what it actually is. And here's where I want to kind of go back to my story or advice that I was going to tell you guys, is that, like, it's way easier than you think it is. we will tell ourselves 10 times how much worse it will be, or this type of risk or leaps that it, that they will be, than the actual truth or reality, right? And a lot of things I learned here is sometimes you just gotta not think about it and just do it. Okay? Whether it's that relationship that you've been really scared of jumping into, you've been meeting this man or woman and they've been really impressing you, and all those signs are right, but the only thing that's holding you back is the pain and disappointment of a past experience you've had that scarred you up, right? So it's scaring you to not do it now, but I promise you, it's better to give it a try than not at all, if the signs are right. Same thing goes with maybe that business venture that you're looking to do, but the thing's been holding you back is you had a couple failures in the past, and it scarred you, it scared you. But I get it, that's life. But those L's don't have to be losses. They can be lessons. And whether you choose an L to be a lesson or a loss, it's truly up to you. But I like to live that, all my L's will always be lessons. Nothing has to be a real loss. I don't regret, I only learn, right? So anyways, back to the story. My friends all started jumping off, one after another. Boom, boom, boom. Even my buddy Mojo, he did a 360 flip here, you'll see. Bang. Funny enough, this guy told me a couple years ago when I took him to Vietnam, he said, hey man, just so you know, I don't know how to swim. But all of a sudden, I don't know, it seemed like he knew how to swim when we got in the water, funny enough. But anyways, we got back, and oh, here's a cool little thing too. We seen a couple horses and stuff like that, and one of the guys was like, you want to ride a horse? And I'm like, you know what, because I declined the first time. They offered us a horse ride, going to the waterfall, but I'm like, you know what, I'm like, going back, I'll be down for a horse. So I got on this horse, his name is Moro, right? But I got on Moro, and then we just started riding. Sometimes we go fast, sometimes we go a little slow. Yes, did it get a little scary when he got quick? Yes. But guess what? That's life. And life, sometimes there will be seasons of ups, and sometimes there will be seasons of down. But what matters the most is that you hold on. You hold on. And guess what? Even if you do fall down, you're going to get back up with more experience. And that really all goes back to my lesson earlier, is 2022, right? 2022, this is the year for you to make that jump for yourself. Nobody is going to do it for you. And this is my invitation for you to take that leap for the things that you've been wanting to do for a very long time. Whether it's business, health, relationships, finances, doing something different that you've never done before. Because we all know, if you want to do something you've never, or you want to achieve something you never had, you gotta be willing to do something you've never done. So yeah, just wanted to make this video simple and clean. 2022, it's here. We're a month in. If you're watching this video, it's probably February 1st, around that time. But we got 11 months of this year. Ask yourself, how can I take a leap for myself today? And it doesn't even have to be huge. All that matters is that you take the leap. Whether it's 1 foot, 10 foot, 100 foot, that's all that matters. Because you know why? We are pattern and routine people or animals. You can either make your routines of failures, or you make your routines filled with success. It's up to you. Live great, alchemize your life. I'll see you guys in the next one.